Hello, in this video we are going to see some different command options that comes with the ls command, but I highly suggest that you first see the PDF file that is associated with this video before actually viewing this video. Okay, so we already know two different options that comes with the ls command. The first one that we did is the ls-i. Right now I'm in my desktop, right? So if I do ls-i, this will show me the inode number of my directory 1 here, dir 1. Okay. And also we saw the long listing, which is ls-l. Okay. At this point of time, we will not be able to understand everything in the long listing. So, for example, the first letter here, D, signals that this is a directory, not a file. So if I have another file here, I would call it, for example, blah, blah. And then I say ls-l. This will not, you see, the blah, blah here will not have the D, because blah, blah is not a file. It's not a directory, it's just a normal file, and here dir 1 is a directory. So the first letter here is for the type of the file, whether it's a directory or not a directory or a link, etc. Other than that, all these letters are for the permissions set for this file, and we will talk about permissions in a later video. These are the number of hard links. This is the owner of the file. This is the group assigned to this file. And this is the file size. This is the modification date or the creation date of the file. And here is the file name itself. Okay, I'll just delete this one for now. Okay, okay. So that's we already know before. So we already know ls-i and -l. What else can we know? Right now, when you just do normal ls on my desktop, I just see directory 1 here. But if I did ls-a, I will see other things, like I'll see this dot and these two dots here, and I will also see these two files. They are called .hidden1 and .hidden2. So what are those files doing here? First of all, I think you remember what is dot and what is two dots. Do you remember this? I guess you do, because we discussed them in the Linux file system video. One dot represents the current directory and two dots represents the parent directory. And we already mentioned that these are two special directories that are present underneath any or every single directory in our Linux file system. These two files here, I made them myself. So they are hidden file. But why are they hidden and not shown here in my graphical user interface? I'll tell you the reason. The reason that they are hidden is that they begin with one dot. If any file begins with a dot, then it is a hidden file. So let's see an example of that. If I go here and say, for example, I'll create a file, I'll call it .hidden3, right? Oh, didn't work. Okay, let's do it again. Rename .hidden3. Okay, right now I have it here, right? But I just want to refresh here, so I'll just press F5, and here it's gone now. Okay, I didn't delete it. So if I do ls, I don't see it. But if I do ls-a, I'll see it here. .hidden3. So this is how you can create a hidden file, and I will show you how to create files using the command line in a later video. But for now, you just want to know that ls-a will show all the files, including hidden files. And A here stands for all, meaning all the files, including hidden files. Okay, so this is one great option that you can use with the Linux or with the ls command. And let's go to the root directory and do an ls. As you can see, here I do here is the directories that are present underneath the root directory. And if I want to see all the hidden files, include all the hidden files in my root directory, I'll just say ls-a. As you see, I'll see the current directory, the parent directory, and you see this one? Dot configuration file. It was not present when we did just ls. So if we did ls-a underneath our root directory, we will see more files. Okay, so that's good for the ls-a command. Let's go back to my desktop. Okay, so the other command option that we will see is -t, or the T option. But let me first create two folders. The first one is A, and the second one is B. Okay, so right now, if I do an ls, as you can see, I say the ls just shows A, B, directory 1. And actually, the order here is not random. It sorts them by alphabetical order. This is why I have A first, here I have B, and here I have directory 1. So there is an alphabetical order here. What if I want to view the file sorted by time? Viewing the most recent first, I will just say ls space -t. The -t options will list all the files in your current directory, but it will be sorted by modification date or creation date, with the most recent first. You remember, directory 1 was the first directory I have here. Then I created A, then I created directory B. So when I do ls-t, it will first show me the newest, or the most recent directory that was created or modified, B, then A, then directory 1. This is what I have here, B, A, and directory 1. So -t option is a very also useful command, which sorts, or it lists the file based on the modification or creation date. Okay, so that's good for the -t option. Another option that is related to the -t option is called the ls-r. So what does -r means? It is reverse. Here T stands for time, and R here stands for reverse. So let's do -r and see what happens. -r, it lists directory 1 first, BA. Do you know why does it list this? It lists the file in this order? Okay. -r doesn't have to do with time. It only lists the directories or the files in a reverse order compared to the normal listing. So here, when I just do ls, I have A, B, directory 1, sorted alphabetically this way. If I do ls-r, then it will be the other way around. So it will be directory 1, B, A, directory 1, B, A. So don't confuse yourself. Some people think that -r sorts them by modification date or time, but no, it does not. It only reverses the order of the normal ls option. Maybe like, this is alphabetical order, this is the other way around. Okay, so -r is just reversing the order of the normal ls. Okay, so that's good for the R option. Now we come to the very, very powerful option that we can use with the ls command. This one is the ls-r. But before we explain what is ls-r, I first want to show you something here. So, in my desktop, I have directory 1, right? And inside directory 1, I have two files, directory 2 and file 1. And inside directory 2, I have two files, directory 3 and file 2. And inside directory 3, I have just one file, which is file 3. So, we already know that if I just do an the ls directory 1, this will list the contents of directory 1, which is basically directory 2 and file 1. But here is my question for you. What if I want to list all the files underneath directory 1? So here I have directory 1, right? But I don't just want to list these two files. I want to list all the files underneath directory 1, including any files inside the subdirectories. You know what I mean? So I don't just want to list directory 2 and file 1, but I also want to list these two and what's inside directory 3 and what's inside directory 2, sorry, and then what's inside directory 3. So I want to list all the files underneath this given directory. All I need to do is just say ls-r, R capital here, you see? It's case sensitive, so this R is different than this R. So if I said this will show me all the files, it will list all the files, including underneath the directory 1, including any files or any subdirectories. So for example, what it did here is that inside directory 1 I have 2 files, which is directory 2 and file 1. And inside directory 2 I have 2 files, which is directory 3 and file 2. And inside directory 3 I have file 3. So what is -r here means? R here is a recursive. Do you remember, like from programming, if you are familiar with programming, you know what is a recursive function is? It's basically when a function calls itself. This is what happens here, like more or less. So here I go inside directory 1 and I list everything here. Then when I find a directory, I go inside and then I list everything here. And then when I find another directory, I go inside and then I list everything inside. So it keeps listing until it cannot find any other directories. Okay? So if I go to my root directory and I do ls-r, do you understand what will happen here? Every file will be listed, all the files in my system will be listed, because underneath the root directory I have all the given files and directories. So if I just type enter, but excluding the hidden files, of course. So if I go ahead and execute this command, this will keep listing all the files that I have in my file system. And this will take a lot of time, so I'll just kill this process by pressing Control-C together. Control-C will kill this process. Okay. So that's for the -r option or -R option, the recursive option, which is very important. So what about like combining the command options? What do I mean by that? So let's go back to my desktop. Just to clear. Okay, so right now I have these 3 files, right? A, B, and directory 1. So what if I want to make a long listing and show the inode number? So a long listing will not show me the inode number. I just want to combine the 2 command options. It is very easy. If you want to show the inode number and to do a long listing, if you want to do the 2 of them together, you can just combine the commands options like the following. You can just type ls-i space -l, and this will show you the long listing and then the inode number, and they are concatenated together. They are together here. Notice that the order does not matter, so you can say ls-l-i, and this will show you the same result. Awesome. So this is one command. So that's how we can combine the command options. Also, this is one way, right? But there is also another way. So if you don't want to use 2 dashes, you can just use 1 dash. So li and il will do the same thing. So it's up to you if you want to combine the options using this way, or if you want to combine the options using this way. I personally like this way because I don't like to write the 2 dashes, but sometimes this is more clear what you're trying to do, so it depends on you, like if you want to do it this way or you want to do it this way. You can also for example here, if you want to view all the files, so this will be hidden files, and I want to do a long listing, and I also want to show the inode number. So you see, this will show you all the files because I have the A option here, and it will also make a long listing. It will also show you the inode number, and the order doesn't matter, so I have LIA will do the same thing, and maybe ls-a-i-l will do also the same thing. Okay. Okay, that's good. I'll make it clear here. And then one more thing. Dash R, the dash R option is very useful when you want to sort the files by modification date, but not the recent first. What if you want to show the oldest first? So remember, if you do ls a, it's just ls dash t, this will show you the oldest first, which is b a and then directory 1. But if you say ls dash tr, this will reverse the output of the dash t option. So when you put r along with the t, like besides the t option, this will reverse the output of that t option. And what is the output of the t option gives you? It just gives you the files sorted by modification date with the most recent first. So if you reverse that, this will show you all the files sorted by modification date, but it will show you the oldest first, which is directory 1 in this case. So as you can see, L.T, you can combine L with T. So as you can see, this one was the old. So here's dash L with T. T will give you the most recent first, which is true, B, A, and then directory 1. But if you do ls dash LTR, it will show you first directory 1, A, and then B. Also, a cool option that you can use is later. So ls dash later, this will show you a long listing of all the files sorted by modification date, and also it will use the recursive option. So if you go to your CD, if you go to your root directory and you want to show a long listing of all the files sorted by modification date, and of course if you want to view all the files in your system, you have to use the R option because you're in the root directory now. This will show you a long listing, and I'll just press Ctrl C to exit this process. So as you can see, there is many options that you can use with the ls commands, but these are the most famous or the most important ones. And I really suggest that you take time practicing all these options and you get a feel for it, especially for the recursive option. And I highly suggest that you read the PDF file that is associated with this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Ciao.